okay, what's the graph of the inequality in the coordinate plane? Well, in order to first know what the inequality is, we need to graph the actual kind of matching equation for this. And what do I mean by the matching equation for this? What I mean is for this one, it would be x equals 4. We got to find the line before we know what to shade on which side of it or whatever. So how do we do that? Well, what we're looking for is we're looking for something that will um, a line that will go through the, what's the variable? It's x, so it'll go through the x-axis. And where will it go through the x-axis? At 4. So that already eliminates a and d as possibilities because those aren't going through the x-axis, they're going through the y-axis. So we have these two other equations, b and d, I'm sorry, b and c, these two other graphs, going through the x-axis at 4. So the lines are in the same place, and what's the difference is they're being graphed on different sides. So now that we know that, let's get rid of that and say, okay, we want x values greater or equal to 4. And where do we see values greater than or equal to 4? Well, starting at 4, which direction do the x values get greater? They get greater going to the right. So we want to be shading to the right. And of course, to test it, you could plug in any point and see. So let's actually test B and say, okay, what's a point in B? Let's say this particular point right here, okay? What's the coordinates of that point? Well, the coordinates of it are -2, 2. Okay, that's in the shaded area. Let's test it out by putting in, well, the x coordinate of that is -2. So if we took the original equation of, or the inequality of x is greater than or equal to 4, and we substituted in for x what the x coordinate is, we get -2 is greater than or equal to 4. And that's false. And it's false because B is not the correctly shaded side. Okay? B is not the right choice. The right choice is C, where all the values of x are greater. Okay? Continuing on, we're going to do this for the other side. And we see that it says y is less than -2. So the first thing we have to do is we need to graph the y is equal to -2 line. Where is y equal to -2? Well, it's a line that goes through the y-axis at -2. And A does that, and so does B. C and D don't do that. C and D go through the x-axis, so they already can't be it. Now, once we know that, we say, okay, it does have to be a dotted line because it doesn't say or equals, but we want y values that are less than or greater than -2. We want y values less than that. So if we're on the line, we would say y values less than. Well, that's certainly not A then, because that's not where the shaded area is. Less than, B is in that shaded area. So we can say it can't be A, that doesn't have the correct shaded area. It's got to be B. And so we box that equation out.